Hello, everyone. Welcome to this talk. Please join me in welcoming Lars Corvinius Olesen and Aimee Alminde to the stage. Lars Corvinius Olesen is the PR and digital coordinator of Dyrenes Allianse. He's been involved in animal advocacy since 2018 and holds a master's in business communication. Aimee Alminde leads volunteer engagements and coordinates local chapters for Dyrenes Allianse. Let's give them a warm welcome.
Thank you so much. Have you ever wondered why, despite all our technological advancements, we still waste enormous resources, cause immense suffering, and push our planet to the brink just to maintain what's on our plate? Well, effective altruism is about doing the most good, focusing on reducing suffering, prioritizing neglected causes, and enhancing scalable solutions. Today, we want to show you why veganism isn't just a personal choice, but it's strategic, a systematic shift that aligns perfectly with EA values. EA has a mission in addressing not only one, but many of our most prominent problems as a species, from world hunger, climate emergency, water scarcity, animal suffering. In this talk, we'll discuss the impact on how one goal can unify many of our most important tasks at hand in this EA community. Well, reducing animal suffering isn't new to EA either. Neither is the discussion about veganism. The reduction of animal suffering has existed in EA since 2013. And since then, funding has been increasing, talent has been increasing, and we have had increasing focus on animal suffering and the urgency to do something about this. This couldn't have been done without considerable effort reducing animal suffering in itself and reducing other, but animal suffering in itself is not affecting other EA areas, but it's still a priority. Things have changed though in the last couple of 10 years. Technology has improved, pandemics have arisen, and agricultural prices has risen, wars have been there and are still ongoing, and socioeconomic factors and cultural factors have changed. Well, these areas are connected than ever before. So why veganism and why now? It is because veganism is about the consideration for animals and the impact of changing our food system from animals to plants are affecting a lot of EA areas. We at Dyrenes Allianse, it's a Danish organization, animal rights organization. We're focused on vegan advocacy and plant-based campaigns and efforts. We inspire people to do better for animals by not eating them. We work on many levels, grassroots levels, individual levels, political levels, and institutional levels, where we encourage institutions to adopt a plant-based menu as a standard, inspiring thousands at a time. Mainstreaming veganism and promoting plant-based diet is our focus. We do works with the Minister of Food, Agriculture and Fisheries, flipping plant burgers with him on a festival, live on TV, promoting plant-based foods, getting out there mainstream plant-based foods and diet change and veganism. We do the vegan challenge in Denmark. We have 1,000 Danes each month doing a challenge of 22 days, eating plant-based, getting tips and tricks, and learning how to inspire others and changing the world day for day. And tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday, we are working together with Billie Eilish's team in Denmark on her concerts, where we promote together with her, she's a vegan, people to eat more plant-based for the future of our planet. Well, what is veganism when we talk about it? It is a philosophy. It's a way of living that seeks to exclude as far as possible and practical all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, and other purposes. It's easy with a food system. We have lived it the last couple of days at this conference. We can eat food without hurting animals, but you can also wear clothing without hurting animals. There are so many places in this world where you can change your habits. And why is this aligning with EA values? Well, it is actually really connected to 8 of the major EA line problems: animal suffering, climate change, biodiversity loss, land use, water scarcity, global food security, moral progress and long-termism, public health and pandemic risk, and avoiding inefficient technological solutions. We'll be addressing these. Because if I might quote an entomologist, expert in insects, but also expert in edible insects and sustainability. Well, he's trying like, can we eat insects instead? Well, he is actually saying all animal production, no matter what, add inefficiency because they're converting plant matter into animal matter. There's always gonna be inefficiency no matter what animal you choose. So efficiency is all about what we're about.
Yes, thank you, Lars. And if we are looking at the problem, we can see that food systems are driving suffering and collapse. And I want to talk a bit more about that in depth. And if you can see this graph, I'm sure most of you have already seen it. We can see that not all animals are depicted in this graph. Many of the animals that are being killed every single day are not depicted. We don't have numbers on that, but this is more the numbers that we have like a look at. We can see that over 80 billion land animals are being bred and killed for food every single year. And the number of aquatic animals is like incomprehensible. It is about the trillions. Every single year bred and killed. And animal agriculture is not only, it's one of the leading causes or one of the top leading causes of different other sectors as well. For example, climate change. And I want to quote Greenpeace here, that they have a report where they say animal agriculture, deforestation contributes to 1/4 of global greenhouse gas emissions, and animal farming is responsible for over 60% of the emissions from agriculture. And deforestation, where World Resources Report says 10 football fields of rainforest is being cleared every single minute to create more room for animal feed, and mainly this is soy production. And only 10% of this soy production that is being created right now is being used for human consumption, such as tofu. It is also animal agriculture is also the main cause in biodiversity loss. And the UN Environment Programme says that our global food system is the primary driver of biodiversity loss, with agriculture alone being the identified threat to 68 of species at risk of extinction. It is also a main driver in heart diseases, and PETA says in an article that most heart diseases is a diet-related caused by diets high in animal produce. Microbial resistance. I will skip over this. I didn't turn off the sound. I'm very sorry. And type 2 diabetes, where Harvard, the School of Public Health, says that people who eat just 2 servings of red meat per week may have an increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes. It is also a main leader in global pandemics, as we have all experienced in 2020 with COVID being a thing. Animal agriculture creates a trap of rising infectious diseases that can lead to pandemics. And we in Denmark have seen this with the mink farming. Thank God that in Norway and Sweden and different other countries, they have stopped mink production. But in Denmark, we have seen actually a rise right now. So very sad. And much, much, much more. If I had to tell you all of the other things that it's like animal agriculture is the leading cause of, this presentation would take like 5-10 hours. So yes, thank you.
People want to do good for animals, but they also want to do good for the world. These things are intertwined. Reason why? 97% of all area for agriculture is being used for animal feed. And that area is only contributing to 18% of all calories being eaten in the world. That's an unfair amount of area for a very small amount of calories. We're using vast amount of land, vast amount of resources. But why? What happens with the food that you eat? Well, you use it on a daily basis to grow. Maybe you stopped growing now, but at one point you grew a lot. You use it to think. Your brain is the most efficient organ you have, but also the most consuming calorie organ you have. Same with animals. The immune system that's all protecting you requires a lot of energy on you for a day-to-day basis with all the food that you eat. And you also have other bodily functions. You have skin you shed. You also go to the toilet. You waste a lot of calories on this. And why do I say waste? It's because what if somebody were to eat you? You know, Hugh meat could be a thing. I'm good at selling stuff. What about that? Well, if you were to be slaughtered, that's a one-time use product, but that will give somebody else some calories. What if I told you that we can make Hugh milk? Some of you can, if you're repeatedly impregnated, because we only give milk when we have a child that we have given birth to. Save our animals. Well, that's also going to give somebody else some calories. But how much of those calories are we actually giving them? Same with animals, because we're an animal. We waste so much of those calories by just living, by thinking, by shitting. It is very inefficient to make products out of us. So I'm not going to do that today. And I sure as hell not going to do that to animals. Because food waste is a big, big topic in the world. But food waste, as we talk about it today, means infinitely little as long as we eat meat, milk, eggs. Because the story is, a third of all food is being wasted. But it's much, much more. I'll give you an example. 93% of all calories are being wasted. Why? Because of animals. This is the most comprehensive thing I'm going to show today, but it's also the most important thing. There's one metric called a petacalorie. It's 1 in 10 in 13 kilocalories. It's 1 in a million in a billion calories. Those are all the calories that are being made in the US through the agriculture. And that is being, can I get the laser somewhere, maybe?
I think we had that, no.
We don't have it. So we have 3 sources of thing. When we grow things on the field, that's like corn, soybeans, and other products, that's concentrates. Also something we can eat. We have roughage. If you take the peel out of banana, peel out of lentils and stuff like that, beans, well, you have roughage, something we can't eat directly, but some animals can. And we have pasture, a lot of land, a lot of grazing, that's also giving energy to animals. What are we using it for? Well, pork, poultry, eggs, and dairy, beef. But a lot of this is being wasted because of biological processes. How much? Pork. We only get 9% out of all calories that is going through a pig. And if we go to a cow, beef here, we only get 3 calories left, 3% of all calories left. This is the biggest food loss in the world, and we are not talking about this. So in the US, input is 1,186 petacalories. That's all the calories being made with all the fields in the US. And we only get 83 left. If I were to have a business model and sell that to you today in the Dragon's Den, you would say that's a fucking bad idea. So land usage, it's a bad resource management. Our world in data says, well, we are using most for animal agriculture. Water usage, I should have written something here, but it really consumes a lot of water. And CO2 emissions, well, all those resources are emitting CO2 because of concentrates. Well, instead of feeding 80 billion animals, we could just feed our own 8 billion humans. Roughage, well, that could be used for something else. We have the fields, we have the roughage. We can use it for animal, like for a vegetable fertilizer through compost. We can use it for coffee, grind some of the shells. That's actually a new thing. And we can use it for clothing and other stuff. We are very innovative. And what about all this land that is giving all this calories to all the cows? Well, how about nature? How about giving that back? So there's a solution for all these things. This is how animals look from a day-to-day basis. This is their life. This is the only thing they know. This is disease, living in their own feces, watching and living very closely to their own relatives their whole lives. In the end, they're being slaughtered mercilessly. We do this without any hesitation. Some of us do. Some of us, we don't even see this. I am ashamed to be a human. I'm ashamed to stand on 2 legs like it means something. This shouldn't be all right. And this is inefficient. And it's not altruistic. And it sure as hell is not effective.
Thank you. Thank you, Lars, for all the numbers. We have a quick exercise to wake you all up. It's been a long weekend. So what I would like for you to do is to move your jaw. Can you open it up? Can you put it from side to side? Yes, I see some of you doing that. Thank you. So as you can see, we are able to move our jaw from side to side as well. So we as humans, we share a lot of different herbivoral traits together with chimpanzees and other herbivoral animals. So we can move our jaw from side to side. We sweat through our sweat glands. We don't pant. We have very soft bristle nails that are perfect for peeling fruits. And our teeth, they are short and good at grinding different weeds and fruits and vegetables. And unfortunately, one of the first discriminations that we are taught as humans is to see other species as resources, as food, for clothing, for testing on, even though it's not necessary. But what other kinds of discriminations are we taught during we were kids? Because it's one of the first ones. Well, many of us have heard that boys shouldn't cry, but thankfully we are working towards a future where that, of course, should be normalized. Everybody should be able to cry. We are taught that women deserve less pain, and that's not something that we all agree on. And that you are allowed to hit your children, for example. I know many of us have seen this when we are younger, maybe friends or other family members. And one of the ones that we are talking about today is that animals are food. And all of these different things should be unlearned. And yeah, these are harmful norms that we must unlearn. And culture is not an excuse when it causes inequality or unnecessary suffering. And it only takes one person to create change, like a little drop of water in a lake. As you can see, it spreads out and you are able to influence a lot more people than you think. So be the change today. And what can you do? I know many of you in this here are vegan, and I'm very proud of you all for being that. But for people that are not vegan yet, or are trying to take the step, support plant-based policy initiatives, fund advocacy organizations driving systemic change, normalize veganism in your networks, in your groups, in your family, and expand the moral circle, not just in thought, but actually do something actively about it.
So that's like also what EA can do, support initiatives that actually counteract the belief system that is animals are resources. That is what is giving us all the problems. If we address that root cause through different initiatives, it's going to solve a lot of our other problems. And what can we do? Well, the thing about it is, it's actually really good for what we're already doing and what's already happening. And that's why times are changing. We have climate activists saying we should do something for the climate. We are doing ourselves. One of the big solutions are don't eat animals, eat plant-based. Instead of reducing the suffering, we should really be synergetic with them and saying, yeah, makes sense. We're also doing something about not eating animals because it's good for the climate. Health institutions, the UN, WHO are saying eat plant-based. They're all saying this. There's a funding possibilities as well. Well, we have funding possibilities for animal welfare, what the work we're already doing in EA for reducing suffering. But there's a lot of funding within health, within climate that also makes sense while reducing animal suffering by not eating them. And we have our old protein projects. We love them because we can't survive and we can't do this movement without them. Let me give you an example. The end of slave trade in North America, we had people like me, like Aimee, like Anna saying, hey, we shouldn't use slaves. It's immoral. But that's only like part of it. The main reason why it succeeded was technological change, because we got the industrialization making machines, making slavery inefficient. It's very expensive to have somebody to violently hold down slaves, make them do work, give them feed, all these things. Well, we need the technology to also replace what we have. We can scale it from individuals, but we can do institutional work affecting thousands, and we can change the society one person at a time, one institution at a time, one conference at a time, and then everybody is not going to see animals as a resource anymore. So let me quote one of our favorite brands in Denmark. We could do the old way, or we can do the naturlige way. Bit of promotion there. Since we started talking, thousands of animals have died, hectares of rainforests have been cleared, all because we see animals as resources. We don't want you to see them as resources anymore. Thank you so much.